Yo, yo, what it do, loved ones? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of the most dangerous virtual lunchroom on the planet, the Lunch and Munch Meetup. What's going on? Your boy POP, that's right, 1/3 of the Lunch and Munch Meetup. Listen, we do this every Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, we just, this is what we believe. This is our core value, our core belief with the Lunch and Munch Meetup. We believe that you can't build anything bigger than you build you. So what we do every single week is we come on and we serve you with motivation, with inspiration, with some practical tips, strategies that you could take right away on your lunch break and apply them to your life so that this way you could immediately begin to level up. Because look, we believe that once you begin to build you, you have a firm foundation to build your dreams, your goals, and the dream life that you have a firm foundation to build it on. So this is what we're here to give to you. And also we want to make sure for real that you don't have any excuses when it comes to building the life that you dream of building. Like, you have everything that you need, whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you know it or not. You have exactly what you need at this particular point to be the best you that you can at this juncture. Life is a maturity game. It's a long game, right? It's about every single step kind of learning and maturing along the way. So we all are works in progress, but here at the Lunch and Munch, we want to eliminate all excuses for you not to pursue your best you. So I just want to thank you so very much for tapping in with us. We got another exciting show for you again today. So we've been really going in over these last couple of weeks. So if you have not seen the other episodes, you definitely want to make sure that you go tap into those other episodes, because we're just discussing all things just dopeness, right? But last week in particular, we began the conversation around waiting, and what we had last week was we called it the God gap, right? And we talked about the fact that we used the example of King David. And King David, for those of you who are not familiar, it's all good. The essence of the story is King David was anointed king when he was a teenager. He actually did, I can't remember exactly how old he was, but I do know that he was actually crowned king when he became like 30. So it was something like 20 years from the time that he was anointed to the anointed king to the time that he actually was appointed king, right? And we call that the God gap, where you have the skill, you have the anointing, so to speak, where you have the skills. You have the skills, you have the information, you have the knowledge, but for some reason the anointing and the skill set that you have doesn't match the season that you're in at this particular moment. And so because of that, you may feel discouraged, you may feel like quitting, you may feel like giving up, because you're looking around and you're like, yo, everybody else is winning, and I know that I know that I have information. I know what I know. A lot of people don't even know. So you're looking around and you seeing people who may not be as talented as you, that may not be as knowledgeable as you, and you're like, yo, hold on, they look like they winning. I'm on the gram. I'm on the gram, and it looks like and it appears to be that they winning, and I'm not. And I got a huge problem with that. And so because of that, what ends up happening is that we tend to either come to a screeching halt, or what we end up doing is we end up thinking that either we're inadequate or it'll never happen, and it just puts us in a really terrible place. But we talked about the fact that in that God gap, it is the question that we talked about was, what is your attitude while you wait? Because David was preparing the entire time, even though he was not necessarily ready at the moment to be king. He was preparing, and all the things that happened in his life from that point was all preparing him to be king. And what we talked about, another point that was brought out, was the fact that God won't always give you the blessing on the front end until he's blessed you and prepared you to be able to handle it on the back end. Meaning, there are things that we want what we see right in front of us. We want what is in front of us. We want what we see, what we dream about. But we don't even think about the fact that once you do get to that point, there's going to be family members that come out of the blue that you ain't know before. Now all of a sudden they want to be chummy with you because they see you on the gram and they see you winning, right? People who started to doubt you, or people who were friends that are now enemies because you've quote unquote passed them, and now it's an issue, right? So there is all of these things that happen on the back end that we don't even consider or even know to think about, because our laser focus is on what it is that we feel as if we should be getting and the blessing that we want on the front end. So it's not in vain that we have to wait. But the question that we posed last week was, what is your attitude while you wait? And so Wayne also posed a question of, or what he said was, this episode, what we're going to be talking about and delving into is what are you doing while you're waiting, right? What are you doing while you're waiting? So I'm gonna bring Wayne in right now so we can get this party started. What's going on, bro?
That was good.
What's going on with you, man? Happy Lunch and Munch Tuesday. You know what I mean? You now tapped
Yeah,
into the most
yeah.
dangerous virtual lunchroom on the planet, the Lunch and Munch meetup. You already know how we doing, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. Ready to roll, man.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. Now that we done prepped the peeps, now that we done prepped the family on what we talked about last week, as far as what is your attitude while you wait, but also more importantly, what are some of the things that you can do while you wait? I thought was an extremely important transition for us to tackle this particular week, because we gave the motivation and inspiration, but now, as we do on Lunch and Munch too, we believe in the practicality, right? It got to be practical. We got to be able to have tangible things that we can apply, and even some mindset shifters that we can go ahead and start to apply right away, so we can start that journey of that transformation that we want, bro. So yeah, bro. So man, look, what in your personal experience, bro, you know what I'm saying, in that God gap, in that waiting game, right?
Yeah,
And it's funny, Auntie hit me up after the show, and she was like, Wayne said, I'm in love with the wait. I fell in love with the wait. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, ooh. And I said, yeah, like that's a special type of that right there is a special type of situation. You know what I mean?
yeah,
When when
yeah,
when you fall in love with the waiting, right? So bro, in your waiting, man, and let's keep it all the way a buck. Both of us right now are in a season of waiting, right? Both of us are in a season of waiting. So in your personal experience, man, like, what are some of the things that you have done in these seasons of wait? Because again, like, you got the anointing, you got the idea, you got the concept, you got the vision, but the
yeah,
season for it isn't necessarily aligned with the tools that you have. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of where we are. So
yeah.
what are some of the things, bro, that you've been able to do, man, and acquire, that has kind of helped you to be able to be patient in this God gap and in this waiting season?
Bro, first I start with something that's not physically what you can do. Um, I continue to have a positive outlook.
Mm.
Um, I'm optimistic, and there's some that I have people that tell me, man, um, that being overly optimistic, you know, could be dangerous for you. And
Mm.
the reason why I'm always overly optimistic during the wait part now is because that allows me to continue not to give up. I don't get weary because I'm so optimistic of what's going to happen that I'm canceling out any extra noise as to why it won't happen
Mm.
or when it's going to happen. So I fall in love with the optimism of it because I know that at some point it's gonna start going in motion for me. So
Yeah.
I keep a positive outlook on whatever it is that I'm in search of, or whatever that goal is, wherever I want to be. Um, in any area, I remain optimistic, bro. And so there's a difference between optimism, and faith. So first, bro, I keep a
Mm.
positive mind. Second, I increase my faith to believe. You know, belief and thinking is two totally different things. And so then I start believing that it's already happened, that it's already
Mm.
there during the waiting part. Because so, bro, um, believing, thinking positive and believing is like a snack, bro. It's like my snack. I'm gonna eat later on, in the day, but let me get a little snack just to knock that edge off. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Let me get a little snack, bro, because I know it's gonna happen for me at some point.
Yeah.
But let me give me a little something to kind of curb my appetite, so I won't give up. You see what I'm saying? And so that is something that I do, bro. That doesn't require anything physical, but it requires everything into my mind and in my heart and in my vision. So
Yeah.
I think positive. I don't allow no negative, nothing negative. Even people talking, I don't even share it a lot because I don't want them to sway me from how I'm thinking. You know,
Mm.
I don't even tell everybody the idea or the thought or the goal because I don't want them to sway the idea. You know, you don't want them to because they don't see the whole vision for what it is that you're doing or going to do. They might try to give you ideas and suggestions, but that might not be where your vision is. So I'm very careful, bro. It's number three. I'm very careful with how much I share in that waiting process.
Mm.
Because bro, we all know, you know, it could be one person you share something with and it discourages your whole dream. And what happens when you're discouraged, even though you're headed down, you're still going to that destination. What happens when you're discouraged, you lose momentum.
Mm.
Lose momentum. And momentum is so key when you're headed to a destination that anything that stops that momentum, it weakens your faith. You know, you start questioning your vision. When you were positive up here, it's dwindling down a little bit. When you have faith to see it and believe it, your faith is not as strong. So
Yeah.
I think positive, bro. After that, I tap into my faith. And then I'm very careful. I'm very careful who I share it with. Even with you, I might not you my dog, but I might have to keep that thing in the incubator until it's fully blossomed
100%.
because I don't want to, I know your heart's intent, but I'm like, okay, Pop might say he might say one little thing that be like, oh, why say that? You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, bro, we so quick to share before that baby's developed. And
Mm.
then we end up setting ourselves back maybe a few weeks. Or we start feeling some type of way about the person we shared it with because they didn't give us what we needed. You
Ooh.
know? I called my boy Jay Mills, one of my creative directors. I forgot what project it was for. But I pre-warned him. When I called him, I said, bro, I need you to have the same energy I'm giving you right now for what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
He said, okay. And I told him and he had it. But those small things, bro, during that waiting process could ruin um everything that you've been believing and thinking about.
100%.
So being positive, believing, and being very careful who you share with.
Man, that's powerful, bro. I love it because like on so many different levels, on so many different levels. So you have now what you're not saying is be positive, just be optimistic, but just be still at the same time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to work while you wait. So there is something. There's a substance, right? Because faith is substance of things hoped for. So there's a substance to be optimistic about. So Wayne, you could be optimistic because you're gonna put in the work while you wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bring
So
it
so
home, bro.
so you are optimistic because like, all right, you know what, I'm going to make sure I make the necessary sacrifices, that I connect with the necessary people, that I'm researching, that I'm doing the necessary work that I need to develop, so that this way when it does come, because I believe it's going to come, I'm gonna be prepared, I'm gonna be ready for it, right? So your optimism is based on substance, right?
Yeah.
And now going to move into your faith, you exercising your faith based on substance, right? That God's going
Yeah.
to give it to you because you got the vision, but you say, you know what, God, I am willing to partner with you to do my part right? Which is in turn strengthening my faith, right, in the
Yep.
process, but also strengthening the trust that I have in you because you're giving me the strength to fulfill this vision that you have given me, right? And
Yeah.
so now, and then it's funny that what you were talking about with when you were talking about it being in the incubator. So being very careful about the timing in which you share it, right? So I know that when if females are pregnant and they have somewhat of a, like, if they consider high risk pregnancies, a lot of the times they may use lose the baby in like the first trimester, right? So
Yeah.
oftentimes what'll happen is that when they're pregnant and if they've had miscarriages before, whatever, the advice is you probably shouldn't necessarily tell everybody in your first trimester, right? Because it's in that first trimester that it's very sensitive time, right? It's something that's very sensitive, so you probably shouldn't say anything to anybody. You need to allow the process of the first trimester, and then once you out the first trimester, oftentimes you are in a better place. So if you want to start to share it at that particular point, you good, right? But you kind of out of the woods, right? So to your point of letting that thing marinate, letting that thing incubate, right, for a particular point in time is very, very important to not allow this baby that you're pregnant with, this vision that you're pregnant with, you can't let it out. You can't let it out, particularly if it's an intricate, detailed vision. You can't let that thing out too early, right? Because you run the risk of not being able to get it out of the woods before you actually before that thing gets legs and life enough for it to be able to survive the announcement and be out in the public eye with everybody and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that is such a practical, such a strong and practical um uh piece of advice, man.
Bro,
That's strong, bro.
bro. But what I want you to key on, because you was there, you was headed there. I thought you was about to start going there. Bro, what I gave was just stuff that you don't physically have to do. You know,
Mm,
it it requires all that is internal. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There are some external things you need to be doing while you wait.
100%.
There's some external things you got to be doing. What I just gave you was just all internal.
Yeah,
It's everything you can control that you don't have to physically do labor for. There are other things that you have to do from an external standpoint. Start doing your research.
yep,
Start finding your mentors. You know, start writing out your plan. You know, start putting it together so when it's time, you got everything, you got all the groundwork laid.
100%.
Whatever that looks like for you, going to get your website. You know what I mean? Start looking for partnerships. All that kind of stuff is what you do while you wait. And see, bro, what I love about waiting is there's so much work that can be done that you forget that you're waiting.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah,
You see?
yep,
It's so much work that needs to be done that you forget that you're waiting. And that kind of help eases the pressure off of you wanting, man, when is it gonna happen?
yeah,
It hadn't happened yet. And
yeah.
I have to question, if you're sitting there always contemplating that, are you really putting in the right work? You know? If you
Mm. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting that Wayne says that because where he's going is strong. Where he's going is strong is because what you cannot do, particularly, I mean, for those who watch basketball or whatever sport, if you watch a sport, if you're interested in the sport in any way, shape, or form, or any event, right? That you keep a score. If you cannot effectively play the game, right? And be fully tapped in and fully tuned in if you're always looking at the scoreboard. You just can't, right? Taking a glance up at it every so often just to kind of see where you are, see if you're down or if you're up or whatever like that. Of course, you always want to kind of be mindful of where you are. You most certainly want to always be mindful of where you are. However, if you are scoreboard watching, however, and all you're doing is looking at the scoreboard and all you're doing is wondering, hey, when is it going to happen? Hey, when is it going to happen? Hey, when is it going to happen? And you're constantly looking at the scoreboard, then the game is literally passing you by. You are not going, right. You're not going. You cannot go full tilt. You're not sprinting down on defense, right. You're not on a fast break. You can't get the pass because you're looking up at the scoreboard. And the thing about it is that Wayne, that's so powerful, because you could be so focused on the destination that you're not doing the right work, or you can't put the proper energy into the right work because you're so focused on the end goal, right? And so the thing about it is that when you're working, and you made an excellent point, when you're working, time just kind of seems to pass, right? When you're engulfed in your work, in your research, your mentors, you're learning and building and becoming great at what it is that you do in your craft, the time just kind of seems to go. And what the blessing of what I call bubbling in obscurity is, working in the dark, the beauty of that is that you can make your mistakes and nobody can see them. Nobody knows about them, right? You can make the mistakes and it's not underneath a microscope. You feel what I'm saying? It's not underneath a microscope. Nobody can see them. Nobody knows that you made a mistake. So now, but you know that you made a mistake, so you can correct that and you can make the adjustments without anybody seeing it. So that this way, when the light does come, guess what? You know you have perfected your process, you've perfected your craft, you have perfected your product. So now when it does get the light, Cass is like, yo, who is this person? Where did they come from? And that's why you think people are overnight successes, because they failed in the dark, and then now that they have the light and they've been able to master their process and their craft, when they show up, it's like they've been there forever. Bro, am I
Boy,
lying?
drop it.
Bro, am I lying though? Am I
Bro,
lying?
bro, you hit it so hard because you right, bro. We be thinking folks overnight successes, but they put in the work
Yep.
that
Yep.
nobody saw. And
Nobody
so,
saw.
bro, I'm even more in love with the weight now is because that allows me time to mess up.
Oh, yep. That's it.
That allows me time to get it right,
That's a fact.
to figure out how to tweak things along the way.
Yep.
That just gives me more time to prep. And bro, we know women don't go into labor, bro, wanting to deliver at 6 months.
That's right. That's right.
We know women don't want to deliver at 5.
100%.
They want to go to full 9
Yep.
because they know that baby's been developed and the baby done cooked up.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying, bro?
That's right.
Bro, that's so heavy though.
Yeah, bro. Yep.
Bro, we be trying to come out with premature purposes and goals, bro.
Woo!
That's what we be trying to make it. We be trying to push the process faster than what it needs to be.
Lord have
Bro,
mercy.
I'm okay with the wait, bro.
Yeah.
I'm okay with not rushing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. And guys, we gotta settle in that waiting is fine as
Yeah.
long as you're doing what you need to do. You
100%.
can't sit and wait. You can't just sit and wait.
That's a
There's
fact.
some things, fundamental things that you need to be doing while you on pause, while you just chilling for a
100%.
second.
Woo.
There's some
Bro.
things you can do while you just sitting in the wait.
Yep.
And I'm saying, I'm speaking to myself because I can take my waiting to the next level. It's like, man, you got to make sure everything is fine tuned while you waiting.
Yeah.
There's no excuses to be bored.
That's a
There's no excuses to be bored.
that's a fact.
There's no excuses. If you laying in your bed and you
Uh,
like, when is it gonna happen? Like, bro, and time goes by so fast when you on it.
yep.
Time go by so fast when you in the grit of it, pop.
100%.
It's like for me, it's like, what else can I be doing now?
Yep.
You know, bro, I'm dealing with a sciatic nerve in my leg, bro, for about a month. So been going to the chiropractor. Chiropractor just wasn't working. And so I started doing my research, you know.
Mhm.
I'm waiting for this healing so I can get back in motion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, bro, I got so discouraged, bro, because it never seemed like I was gonna heal, bro. So
Mm.
I had set a goal to have a certain amount of productions done for my brand, but I'm nowhere near it because of this pain, bro.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, okay, I pushed through the discouragement and the pain and the hurt. And I said, man, let me do my research. Let me see what else I can be doing to help expedite the process.
Yeah.
Because I'm believing that I'm gonna be healed, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking positive about it. But there's some natural things that are happening to my body, bro, that just messing me up. I
Yeah.
said, okay, let me look through some acupuncture. I'm in the weight now. Okay. Man, okay, acupuncture. Okay, all right. It does treat sciatica. So
Yeah.
I hit up the guy and I go see him for my first visit and I start seeing some symptoms,
Yeah.
falling off a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was during that weight. I'm like, oh, it might
Yeah.
be on to
Yeah.
something.
You right. Yo.
And there was certain things that he said, when you leave, I need you to put a heating pad on morning and night.
Yeah.
Need you to take this, I need you to do this and that during the weight process.
Yes.
There were some things that I had to do on my part,
Yeah.
Pop.
Yeah. 100%.
There were some things that I had to do on my part because I went to someone that specializes
Yeah.
in sciatic, bro. So during the weight, there are people that specialize that you need to be talking to, getting guidance that can prep you for where you want to go. And so, bro, I went to my second visit.
Man, oh man.
Man, I'm telling you, man, a few days later, bro, I went from a 10 on my first visit in pain to a 5, and now I'm at a 2.
Come
You
on,
know,
man.
when I left out of there today, he said, okay, you can dance just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit,
this a little bit.
you know?
Just a little bit.
But guess what, bro? I'm still not gonna dance because I know if I do it, when he said a little bit, that means there's still some risk there.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It's not quite ready yet. So
100%.
I'm already waiting. Let's wait a little longer.
Yeah,
But I'm continuing to work, bro. I'm
yeah,
still believing. I'm still visualizing that I'm dancing. I'm still positive, bro. And I'm doing the physical work, bro. You see what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Man.
So bro,
Mm,
so bro, even though I'm down now, people don't even realize it because I'm only sharing it now. So
yeah.
bro, when they see these videos coming like this in a few weeks, they gonna think I've already done it.
Yeah, 100% that you already there, bro. Man, let me tell you
Yeah,
something,
bro.
man. And look, I mean, and I don't want y'all to miss what Wayne just said. He realized that there's more than one way to skin a cat while you wait. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And was powerful about what you just said, Wayne, is that the vision never changed. The vision never changed. You said the vision never changed. You just said, "Yo, there's another route for me to get to this vision." And so often we are so enslaved to one way of thinking, one thought process. This is the only way that I can get this done. And we are enslaved to that so much so that it steals our encouragement, it steals our motivation and inspiration, it steals our optimism because we're convinced that there's no other way to get there. But what you said was like, yo, I believe that this is coming, this is mine, I'm going to get there. But you know what? Hold on. There may be another way. There's another way to get there. Hold on, let me try. Instead of going this way, bro said I can't. All right, so this right here is a dead end. But yo, there's always a back door. There's always a side door. Like even if I got to go up to the roof and I got to come down, or I got to go underground and come up, there's another way to get to this. But the vision never changes. The vision never changes. And so often we change our vision based upon, oh, this route, well, clearly I can't get here this way, so this must not be the right vision. God, you must have gave me something wrong. Like I understand you gave it, but maybe it was the wrong individual. Like maybe it's really not for me, right? But no, that's not the case. Maybe it's just that your God is trying to now get you to think a different way and understand that there's a different pathway other than, right, lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge who, right? So It don't lean to your own understanding, but instead say, okay, like wait, like okay, well, all right, well, I can't. The pain is unbearable. There has to be another way because this the way that I'm going right now, this ain't hitting. So because it is not hitting, he could have easily be like, oh well, you know what, I'm just gonna have to. I just throw up my hands, and if I get this healing, cool. If I don't, but he said, no, 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 no. Let me do some research. There's got to be another way to skin this cat. And because of that, you were able to get the results that you desired, and you are that much closer to the vision. But the important thing to understand is that the vision never changed. It was only the approach. So we can't be so locked in to our own understanding and our own approach. Every so often, while you wait, you have to sit back and analyze. Okay, I've been going hard in this direction, and it seems like I've been spinning my wheels, and I'm not getting the healing. I'm not getting the revelation that I thought I should get. So let me take a step back and see if there's an alternative route. God, is there another way that I can go that's going to deliver me still, because the vision doesn't change, but maybe I just need to explore another way. And while you wait, my challenge is for you, if you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again and not getting the same results, my challenge to you is to take a moment and get a pen and a piece of paper while you wait and start to brainstorm of, if are there other directions that I can take? Is there another route that I could take that's going to get me there? Even if it's going to take you a little longer, remember the vision never changed. So even if it takes you a little longer, the vision is still intact. We gotta be flexible to the direction and the route that we take. Yeah,
Bro, that's so heavy, bro.
yeah.
Man, bro.
Hey, we don't.
You
This
feel
ain't
that
the.
you feel that cloud? You feel that
Yes, sir.
cloud, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And listen, this is why we are the most dangerous virtual lunchroom one. Listen, this ain't us. This is the spirit of God, Joe. Listen. Those of you who might be tapped in and may not necessarily believe in God, listen. I get it, but we do. And when we to understand what's kind of going on here, and what's being chains that are being broken, understanding, right? Like leaning not to our own understanding anymore, but actually, okay, God, all right, while we wait, okay, maybe there's another way. Maybe there's something else, right? The vision isn't the vision is the same, it's intact. It is what it is. But it's us that we have to there's adjustments we got to make while we wait. There's adjustments that we got to make while we wait. And so this is why it's the most dangerous virtual lunchroom on the planet, because it's not many like this. It's not many like this. So, bro, that's it. That's it. Thank y'all for tapping in with us, right? Thank y'all for tapping in with us. We appreciate y'all hopping on. We appreciate y'all prayerfully. Y'all have gotten a revelation. Prayerfully, that light bulb has gone off. Listen, tell a friend to tell a friend about to pull up to the Lunch and Munch. We do this 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Tuesday. This is like episode like 84 or 85, right? We've been rocking consistently nonstop for a year and a half, just about, right? And there's no signs of us slowing down, but we're just going to continue to get better. So tell a friend to tell a friend. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. Also tap that bell notification as well. Also tap the bell notification so you'll be notified every time we go live, right? We have some other things that are also coming down the pike that we're going to be announcing over the next months or so, going to closing the year. You could also check us out on Instagram, right? At the Luncheon Munch underscore meetup, at the Luncheon Munch underscore meetup on Instagram, where we get clips and stuff from all of these shows, the most highlights, and we put them up on IG. So That's all we got for y'all today. Thank y'all for tapping in, bro. You got anything that you want to say before we finish?
Man, I'm about to go get in the presence of God real quick for a minute, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm about to do the same, bro. I'm about to do the same. We encourage y'all to do the absolute to do the same thing. Take advantage of this waiting period. Take advantage of this God gap. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Don't lose sight of the vision, but let's make the necessary adjustments. All right. So we love y'all to absolute life. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, and we gonna see y'all next week. Peace.
Go.